Dublin. I was born in 1955, 18th of July. I was born in Irishtown, but my dad quickly moved from Irishtown to Santry. I have a memory of those things in the 60s that now seem like they've been taken into hierarchy, nostalgic moments of the 60s. And the 60s then were, times of music change. There was dramatic change in the 60s as related today, but I have that hindsight now. But back then, it was my present. I was living in that time as my present. So when the Beatles came on the scene in the early 60s, it was like, there's the Beatles, and the Beatles were there in 61, 62, and, out comes, She Loves You, and then it was Rubber Soul, and then it was all this, and growing up hearing this music. And
in the 50s was tenements, poverty. Came from the flats, but I do remember one of the big memories for me was John F. Kennedy coming to Ireland. I was actually in an ambulance.
Then the Americanisation, like that was from Liverpool, but then the Americanisation, coming up, hearing about, I remember particularly John F. Kennedy in 1963. I was 8 years of age.
On the way from Our Lady's Hospital, heading over to Blanchardstown with diagnosed primary tuberculosis, and the traffic, I remember the guys in the ambulance were giving out, the traffic was all over the place because of John F. Kennedy.
But he was coming to Ireland, and I remember being on the Swords Road with a little American flag, waving it, and I can see him as close as I am to you. I can see him. He's all tanned, he's got this sandy coloured hair, and it's an amazing time for Ireland.
It's funny when you think of those times. The music, we were used to listening to the Beatles and Freddie and the Dreamers and Jerry and the Pacemakers and all that kind of stuff, and then like the Beach Boys and like even Frank Sinatra. Like I remember my dad playing Frank Sinatra and listening to that kind of stuff. Their influence and the colour TV came in, and the Honeymooners comedy, sitting there watching there on a Friday night with me ma while my dad was away working in Coventry. It was sort of beginning to wash over me, that influence of America.